Yeah, good morning. This is Ishwaraj Ilamurugan. We are talking about the presentation international leaderships. Our course module is 7030 SSL. These are all my group members. Anandu Soji and Simjit P. Sajeev. And next one is Akash Kumar S. Patel. We are going to talk about the leaderships of Emma Walmsley. These are all Emma Walmsley and Auntie Jessie. We are going to present about these are all the leaderships of two members, and these are all contents. We take about first one we go to present the introduction, and then going to Emma Walmsley introduction and Emma Walmsley in traditional transformational leaderships and Emma Walmsley situational leaderships, and then go to the Emma Walmsley leaderships model, and next going to the another leader of Andy Jesse introduction and Andy Jesse adaptive leaderships and Andy Jesse servant leaderships and Andy Jesse leadership model, and compare the leaderships of analysis. And the next one is applications of theories and models, and last one is we go to the conclusion and put some references in these slides. Please move to the next slide. uh, this is introduction of Emma Walmsley. The purpose of in this differentiate between the leadership's approaches of Emma Walmsley and Andy Jassy. Leadership theories of models will be applied on each of the leaders to understand the working principles. Their working principles are very different and unique, and objective leadership and objective learning about the way of leading is in the various sectors or they both coming. And next slide is we going to present the Emma Walmsley introduction. She is born in 1969 and studied at Oxford University and started his career at the GlaxoSmithKline in 2010, promoted to CEO in 2017 to 2020. Led to strategic concentration of paramedical and innovations of his paramedicals, and the source is Tulum et al. 2020. And next slide is Emma Walmsley transformational leaderships. Emma Walmsley creates the perfect vivid picture of the future in GlaxoSmithKline using transformational leadership 2024. She was able to come up with the new ideas and make sure that the employees implement to change the adopt new ideas to every time. She's a kind in relationship. She's kind in the leaderships and very friendships in the employees, where she makes everyone in her company feel engaged and comfortable to overall productivity of the firm and the duty. And next slides we're going to talk about the Emma Walmsley transformational of leaderships. Walmsley has enhanced the company expenditure. She towards the research and development agendas at GSK. GSK, and she has also eliminated the areas of the redundant in the increase the productivity and increase the productivity, and her work style is very different. She also learn about that. Valency has the business relationships and alliances for the purpose of growth and important of the company and market standing in GSK. And example of Vijaya and Brihantini is 2023. She has the very talented in the work style is very different. And next slide we're going to transformational relationships is the same one. Ramsey has been the frontline championing diversity and inclusion at GSK, Applebaum, Amadi, Mahabadi at 2022. She has introduced the procedure for training generals for the company of tomorrow. This has enhanced a better working relationship between her and employees as well as enhanced the productivity. Next slide is going to talk about. So, Anandu,
Mhm. Thank you, Shimjit. We are going to next slide. Emma Vamsi. When the restructuring of was being done in GSK, the Vamsi ensured that she gave the directions and supporting to her teams during the changes, and it was to clear that the portions of delegations of authorities to the workers and with the level of the supervisions according to the employees' skill levels. This approach made him ensure that the people working to under her confidence enough to deliver their duties. Moving to next slide. The Emma Vamsi situation leadership. In the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak, the WAMSI was able to balance the shareholder needs by the forcing of a communication aspect. She engaged with other departments and the work to the analyze and new problems and look for the best solution. It is for the reason of situational leadership approach ensure the trust and stability within the organization and achieved during the such a time. Moving to the next slide. The Emma Vamsi leadership model. In the case of the five practices of extremely leadership model developed by the Gusses and the process of applicable to the cases of Emma Vamsi, the model of the way of elements is ensured that considered to when the handling the work and the dealing with the team membership and enjoy to hear the spread process of creating the versions of will be acceptable by the people in GSK. Going for next slide. Going for next slide. The last of the four concepts challenge has process in wellness process of creativity and the experiment was able to add in also approach through the how to create the employee argument and cooperations of ensure to head of highlights her applications of the team of efforts and these motivates to workers to work harder and with the more dedications. They improve their transformation leadership in at GSK in the following ways. Moving to next slide, Andy Jesse. The Angie Jesse is the 1968 born exclusive has born as MBA from the Harvard Business School. He started the working with Amazon in 1997 and and was to quit instrument but experiment by the him. He was founder of the Amazon Web Services and company was shaped into the cloud services. And Jesse took the over the CEO of Amazon in 2021, replacing Jeff Bros Jeff Roses and Hayes continues the lead of the company's involvement and growth. Moving for next slide, Andy Juicy and the exclusive leadership of Andy Juicy is a perfectly example for the adapting the leader since he has foreseen the changes and he emphasizes on training, development and application to acquire knowledge of instance of involvement and flexibility, the approaching of influences of Amazon as well as the compatibility in the market. Okay, thank you. Next slide we taken as Shimjit.
Thank you, Anandu. Moving to the next slide. Anti-Jesse adaptive leadership. When working on the AWS, Jassy encouraged the method of free problem solving and allowed teams to make decisions. This approach made it easier to have regular feedback and the ability to quickly adapt and make changes, which helped AWS to become market leader in the provision of its services. Moving to the next slide. Jesse's adaptive leadership was very important, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. He put measures in place to deal with fluctuating customers' requirements for Amazon to meet rising e-commerce and cloud services. During the crisis, his management contributed to the country's development and search for new opportunities. Moving to the next slide. Andy Jassy servant leadership. An aspect of servant leadership is the well-being of the subordinates. And in this case, Andy Jassy is also an example of such a leader. He works on the development of the employees and fosters teamwork. This style of leadership makes sure that his team members feel important and that they are backed up. Moving to the next slide. When AWS was growing, Jassy made sure that his teammates had everything they needed and were provided with support. He encouraged people to speak freely with him and always encouraged the employees to express their opinions. Also, he focused on employee development by providing training and development programs that would enable the personnel to move up the career ladder. Moving to the next slide. Jesse practices servant leadership in terms of Amazon's approaches to diversity and inclusion. He provided measures that enhances the psychological state of the employees. Through communication with the stakeholders, Jesse guarantees that the formulated strategies by Amazon are responsive to the needs and aspirations of the community, which proves his loyalty towards the team and the community as well. Moving to the next slide. Andy Jassy leadership model. Applying the leadership pipeline model to Andy Jassy's experience, it becomes clear that the model is quite relevant. It shows different levels of leadership progressions of how Musk progress from leading AWS to Amazon CEO. Jassy pays special attention to the talent management and leadership pipeline that defines the consistent development of the leadership pool. Moving to the next slide. First, having a technical background, Jassy was accountable for the leadership of AWS initially. Later on, acquiring the position of the CEO, which shows strategic thinking as well as efficient performance. Such determination in learning and leadership fosters the innovation and adaptability of Amazon in the context of a more competitive environment. Moving to the next slide, and it is continued by another member, Agash.
Thank you, Simjit. Comparative analysis. Both leaders, Emma Williamsley and Andy Jassy, are similar in their focus on innovative and empowering the members of the team. Nevertheless, in concern with diversity and inclusion of the Black population, as as experienced by Williamsley, may be views as opposite to the concern with the technical technical merits of the case, as the experience by Jesse, which related to their organizational positions. The appointment of Wellesley are straight thing to the pharmaceutical side of the GSK, and the addition of the Jesse is exciting the technological gain drive of Amazon. Next slide, please. It is seen that both show dynamic leadership when they try to change plan to overcome tested. Wellesley applied transformational leadership to enhance a new culture in GSK, while Jesse utilized servant leadership to prepare that welfare of his employees in Amazon. Both of them are beneficial to organizations as they enhance organizational stability and development. Next slide, please. It can be observed that both Emma Williamsley and Andy Jassy act according to the leadership type characteristic for the context in which there is exclusive work. The work of those establishment is complementary in that their tactics promote creativity in additional to the business sustainability. Moving forward, there will be a need to carry on with leadership evolution as way of coping with upcoming challenge and opportunity. Next slide, please. Application of theories and models. Those theories offer a basis for understanding Williamsley and Jesse as leaders in the context of the Williamsley, so that the transformational leadership illuminating the vision aspect of the personality and the situational leadership pointing to her portability and flexibility. The five practice model so that she was committed to the aspect of modeling in behavior and providing visions. Those basis on the adaptive leadership, the organization emphasizes Jesse adaptability. On the other hand, according to servant leadership, the main point is that focus on the development of employees. Next slide, please. The leadership pipeline model displayed the transformational of the Jesse from AWS lender to the Amazon CEO. Those theories define the leader's behavior and show how to those behavior are useful for the industries in which the leaders operate, thus explaining their skill, accuse and the employment. Next, move to the next slide. In a conclusion, the paper aimed to the present Walmsley and Jesse as a leaders with style appropriate for their companies and sectors, as well as highlight the value of innovation, flexibility, and the dissertation of the authority. This is underscore the need for the leadership to fit the organizational context and essence that leadership learning is essential to the leadership effectiveness. Thank you. Next slide, please. It's a reference. And thank you.